Last time on Square Roots, Sue punks out like a little girl, Gadwin punks out like a beefy man, and Fina and Justin grow closer until Justin is distracted by a fish.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I am joined by John Gaia Battler Brandon.
Take that, Gaia.
Vanessa. And with, I guess, absent tonight is Matthew Van Zandt. He's watching Westworld. He ditched us to watch Westworld.
I think we should
with his mom.
We should tell the listeners the truth, Jim. Grandia is too hard for Matt.
A baby could play Grandia.
Yeah, well, Matt's not a baby. So
Exactly.
he can't do it.
He's a grown man.
Yeah, he said that the buttons hurt his thumb to press them all the time. And
Didn't he say thumbsies, though?
He said they hurt his idle thumbsies, I believe were his exact words. He said that
there's too many
colors.
They hurt his eyes.
Too distracting. The monsters scare him very much. And he's having trouble telling whether or not Justin is real or imaginary. So he needs to work on that a little bit before he can get back into the
he just
game.
had to take a break.
Wait, is that like how Titus was imaginary?
No, more like Mr. Wiggles, who lives in your closet, is imaginary, but
Wait,
Mr.
who
Skeleton,
lives in my closet?
who lives in your closet, is not.
What? Ah!
Mr. Wiggles
Matt's
lives
gone.
in your closet. It's me, Mr. Wiggles. I'm
I don't
gonna
like him.
wiggle around.
I don't like him. Stop him.
Ooh.
Vanessa, come kill him.
Ooh, I love to wiggle in your clothes, John.
Oh. Do. We got one! That's what happens. Now we all ghost bust Mr. Wiggles.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Oh, TMI.
Yeah, it does.
So what do we do on this podcast besides bust Mr. Wiggles?
I know what we do.
What is it?
We play a classic role-playing game, one chunker at a time.
Ooh.
And this time,
And
we're
then
playing Grandia. Oh, then we talk about it.
Yeah.
And when we
Yay.
talk about it, we record it and share it with you, the listeners. We're playing Grandia. It's a game what was originally on the PlayStation Dream?
The Saturn
What?
first.
I've never even heard of a Saturn.
Nobody.
I'm pretty sure that's a car.
Have you heard of a Mr. Saturn?
No.
No.
Oh. Well, you will.
Oh.
Next year.
Yeah.
2019, Vanessa meets Mr. Saturn.
I can't wait. Oh.
Yeah, we're playing Grandia, which is this episode, what, 5?
Nobody knows.
6?
I think this is 6. Yeah, we still got a ways to
5
go.
or 6 or something
this is
of our
6.
Grandia series. We're on disc 2 now. It doesn't matter. We're all on disc 2. We have crossed a couple of continents. This might be the last continent. I don't remember.
I hope so.
But we are well into the game at this point. Where we left off last time, like I just said we crossed the continent, we beat Disc 1, and now we're on Disc 2. Before we get into it, let's talk about how we have leveled up first.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Do you want...
John, you have something?
Oh, I do. I don't want to go on about Watch Dogs 2 too much, but I was playing a mission that was like a checkpoint race because I was giving... It sort of has these crazy taxi style bonus missions, and one was to drive real crazy while a lady live streams it to her fans. She's like a lady who does stunts and wild and crazy things, and she set up a checkpoint race for me to drive through. And part of it goes through a park. And I was having fun hitting all the checkpoints. And then there's a family there with their dog. And the dog walked in front of my car while I was driving through to the next checkpoint. And then I launched the dog, apparently what looks like into space. And the lady said, "I can't believe you did that," which was an interesting reaction to it when I hit the dog. And then I finished the race, like 1 or 2 more checkpoints, and I drove back through the park because I felt really bad. And the family was there playing, or there was a family playing with a dog. So I don't know if it was the same dog. I'm going to assume the dog was fine, but I felt a little nervous about it.
Yeah, it just, dogs always land on their feet, so you can launch them into
Exactly.
space as much as you want to. People do it all the
That's right.
time, those cosmonaut dogs and whatnot.
I kind of wish, well, I know there is some ways to do it on PC, but I wish I had that set up like the PS4 does, where it records the last 10 minutes of whatever you're doing, because it was pretty funny. I also went to a Brazilian steakhouse. Have any of you been to one of those?
I have.
No.
A rodizio? With the... Did yours have the wooden thing that you turned over when you were done eating meat?
I don't think so.
Did it have a card you flipped?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this one used to have the wooden things, now it just has a card. So basically, Vanessa, the whole idea is you have this thing you indicate that you want to keep eating meat, and then they walk around with these skewers with meat on it, and then chop off little bits of meat for you for your plate.
Oh.
And then when you're done and you're full, you flip it over.
Interesting.
You can eat a lot of meat, and I did.
How long from the time you sat down till the time you flipped?
An hour and a half, but we didn't start getting food until about 1:30, and so about half hour in we started getting it. So I had about an hour of meat eat.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, there were no sweet meat eats though. It was
Oh.
only regular meat eats, but the best one was this prime steak thing that was just super salty, and I probably shouldn't be eating it, but it was so good. And their pork is super good too. I didn't like their chicken because it has the bone. It has a little chunk with a bone in it, and the bone was a little bloody. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it's safe to eat chicken when it looks bloody.
Mm-hmm.
I feel uncomfortable. Maybe it is. Who knows? Audience, if you think this was safe to eat, let me know. And that's it for my level up. Vanessa, how did you level up?
Graus Futishe. Sushi. Mushub. I've been playing The Sims.
Oh!
I've been playing The Sims on PlayStation 4, which is not the ideal Sims format. It is.
But it's a full Sims game?
It's a full Sims game
Okay.
on the
Neat.
PlayStation 4. And by playing The Sims, I of course mean creating a household, giving it tons and tons of money, and building a house.
Mm-hmm.
Because how else are you supposed to play it?
Getting jobs and then slowly renovating your house over and over until you have a perfect dream home?
No, thank you. I will just have all the money. And it warned me when I was doing it, oh, your trophies are going to be turned off. And you know what? I could not care less.
Yeah, who cares?
Nobody cares about trophies. Nobody.
Do you get bad luck if you use cheats in that game? Like the old Sims games?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I wouldn't know because, I've only just gotten to the kitchen of my
What?
Victorian-style home.
You can have chickens in that game?
That would be amazing if you could. I would love a Sims game where you could have, like, backyard chickens and a goat.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Mhm.
So how many Sims did you create?
I created 3 Sims to live in my Victorian home. I find that it's important to have Sims with a range of skills. So I always make a creative Sim, who I will focus on and build up to be an ultimate god-like Sim, all of her skills maxed out. I make a worker sim who likes to go to work and bring in the simoleons. And I make a tidy sim who likes to clean the house.
So it's sort of like a commune where not everyone's working, but they all help each other and...
Yeah, or like a family, John.
Oh, are they related? Oh, did you set them to be related?
2 of them are related.
Okay. So it's
And one of them is just a
Yeah,
roommate?
a creepy
like
guy.
a Full House kind of situation.
But
Oh.
all those people are related.
That's not
So it-
true.
Uncle Jesse is not.
Uncle what's his face? John Stamos isn't related, is he?
No, he's
Where's
not.
Uncle Joey? No, was Uncle Joey the mom's brother?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, so what was John Stamos' name in that show?
Uncle Jesse.
Uncle Jesse. Oh, for some reason I was thinking Uncle Steve. That's not his name.
But I don't think that he was a genuine uncle.
No, he's like an auntie,
Mhm.
except an uncle.
He's just a cool guy hanging
He's just a
around.
cool
Yeah.
guy hanging around.
He didn't have anything else
Nope.
to do.
In that game, if you make other families, can they interact? So you can have like a couple of different households.
Yes. And in
Could you make one that is all 4 of us, so that we can all interact with your current Sims?
that would be amazing, and I should absolutely do that. I will build for us a Square Roots headquarters,
Okay, good.
and with all of us in it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I should be able to, when it is complete, upload it to the PlayStation 4 marketplace, so any of our listeners can take it and
Oh wow!
torture
I
us
want-
in whichever way they choose.
Not just from them, but also from you. I want lots of screenshots of our little Square Roots family.
I commit to doing it. I will not give myself a time frame because I
Okay.
have to finish my Victorian for these current Sims. But
Mhm.
next on the list will be Square Roots headquarters.
What if one of your current Sims falls in love with one of us?
That would be very awkward.
hmm
But I suppose it could happen.
You should build a mansion for amateur game critic Chad Mozart and have him be like the nemesis.
Yes, evil Chad Mozart lurking in like a gothic style mansion.
Yes, please.
This is a great idea, and nothing could possibly go wrong.
Nope.
Jim, how did you level up?
I've been playing a game called God of War for the PlayStation 4.
That's a pretty old game, right?
This is the modern reboot of that franchise. So it's brand new.
Ooh.
Just came out on Friday,
Mm-hmm.
2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty good. It's really good, actually.
Is it sort of
It's,
like Last of Us?
Kind of, but it's more like there's more variety to the gameplay. The Last of Us was good, but it's like you just kind of moved from area to area and did the same thing over and over again.
Right.
This one, there's so much variety to the combat and the interactions with the NPCs, and there's so much, there's a lot of RPG elements like upgrading your weapons and skills and getting experience and all that stuff. It's so fun. It's a fun game. I like it a lot. And there's something really satisfying to like throwing your axe all the way across like a dungeon and then just holding your hand up and have it fly back into your hand.
Like a Thor.
Yes, exactly like a Thor.
Do you fight Thor?
I haven't yet, but I've fought some of his family members,
Oh, okay.
his nephews.
Mm-hmm. Have you started talking to young people and saying, boy?
That's most of what Kratos says. Boy, read this.
I do want to play that, and maybe we can cover it in our some kind of instant classic in like a month or two.
I think we should. I really like the game, and every little piece of it so far has been good. There isn't anything that I've wished they did differently so far. Like every little piece of the gameplay complements the other piece, and I really like it a lot.
That's great.
Yeah,
How-
it's awesome. It's the best game I've played in a long time.
How far in are you?
I'm probably about halfway through.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, maybe a little bit further. And I'll probably take a break from the main story to do a bunch of the side quests. There are a lot of side quests. To do some of those and get some loot, and then go back to the main story. Yeah.
Well, more to come on this, I believe.
Yes, yeah. It's a good time. Okay, now I think we're ready for the quest log.
Quest log?
We played kind of a short chunker this time. We played from the beginning of Disc to around the end of the Tower of Doom, just a little bit after.
Right. I think it was
Basically
short.
to when you get expelled from Cafu Village.
It was short but eventful.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So we start off. We are off of the boat. Finally, we've grounded, and we're in Did they call it the New World? What do they call it? Just the new continent. Where are we?
I don't know. Vanessa?
We're on the new continent.
Yeah, somewhere new.
Yeah. And it's very jungly. We have a new battle theme, which is cool.
The new battle theme is great. It is the inspiration for Cyril the Wolf's track at the end of this episode. It's pretty... it's catchy. Like, definitely have Cyril's lyrics going through my head whenever I hit a battle now, and I like this one a lot better than the original battle theme.
And
yeah, it's really good. And this first area that they put you in, it's not bad as far as Grandia dungeons go.
In what sense?
The enemies are kind of a challenge. There's some new stuff introduced, like some of the enemies will like these big pupas.
Huge pupas?
Huge pupas. Those are fun to fight, and the butterflies are fun to fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking along, minding my own business, and a tree fell on my head.
Yeah, what was that all about? The tree that,
a tree
like...
fell on your head?
Yeah, there's
fell
trees
on
that
my
chase
head.
you.
What?
Mhm.
They chase you. They're jerks.
They are jerks.
They don't
I don't
fight
remember
you.
this.
They just, like, move around the map and, like, jump on you like a Mario.
I think they sort of bounce back and forth from spot to spot, and they just come down on your party in a big pile of leaves.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. I don't remember that at all.
So, as on your way through, you run into Vanessa and I's favorite character, Guido.
Yay!
He's got a little house there, and he is the best character. He's great.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about Guido's house.
He does talk about carrots, even though he does not want you to think he is a rabbit.
Mm-hmm. But he invites you in to eat carrots with him.
Mm-hmm. He is a rabbit.
Absolutely.
He gives you a little bit more backstory about the Mogai, and you can ask him all about them. And
Yeah, they live in a village on this continent that is south of the desert, I believe.
that's Zilpadon, right?
Yes, across the Zil Desert.
Ooh.
He talks about the village nearby where he says people live in strange houses.
They do. He was right.
Mm-hmm. And he lets you spend the night in his tent.
And then he charges you the next
Yeah.
day.
Oh, yeah, that was great. And his dialogue is still full of, "Oh, what do you think you can sleep in my house for free?
Mm-hmm.
It is 100 gold."
How do you guys feel about this?
I love him.
I feel like he verges on being a racial stereotype, but I can't tell which racial stereotype he's trying to be.
Yeah, there's something off about it.
It's a bit like how, remember the guy in Phantom Menace that owned Anakin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that guy,
Mm-hmm.
where he's like, "Well, you're sort of a caricature, but your nose looks like an uncircumcised penis, so I don't."
Wait, are we
even...
talking about Watto?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Watto. He's a bit of a Watto.
He is a bit of a Watto, but not as egregious as Watto, so it's this weird middle ground.
Right. But I really like reading his text because it's a full of this. I
I'm
like the
certainly happy
pizza.
to see him. I questioned how he got there because everyone's big thing was like, no one can go over the ocean of mermaids during mermaid season. It just can't be done.
Well,
Clearly,
people
Watto
keep
did.
saying that, but everybody does.
Yeah. So I think they're just full of it. They just don't want to do it, and so they make up a thing about how nobody does it.
So he just says goodbye, and he's like, "Oh, you'll run into me later."
Enjoy the forest.
Arrivederci.
I was walking along in the forest, minding my own business, and I walked over this big flower, and it shot me through the air like a cannon.
Yeah, that's how you get through the dungeon, isn't it?
You don't have to.
You don't have to do that?
No.
I did it.
It just pushes. See, there's two of them right next to each other that lead you to two treasure areas, but you can get there normally as well if you don't want to.
Oh.
You don't want to take them.
Well, it took me by surprise.
Aw. One of the areas that one of the flowers shoots you in has these chameleons that give you tons of experience, but you have to like run to try and fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, they run away from you.
Those guys are jerks.
I thought the chameleons give you gold and the alligators give you experience.
I think the chameleons give you lots of both. The alligators give you a bit more experience.
Gotcha. That makes
Because
sense.
I did manage to catch me an alligator. It seemed like they were immune to physical attacks.
Sometimes if they were like curled up or something, I don't know. I just use lots of magic. I have tons of SP or magic MP or whatever it's called, so I just like toasting enemies. It's pretty fun.
Aren't you special?
I'm at a pretty high level, too.
Oh, wow.
So, the website Audio Atrocities, which has snippets of voice acting from the worst games, has some stuff from this game. I was like, well, none of the voice acting's that bad until.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So we make our way through the dungeon a little bit, and we eventually fall into like an open hole in the ground.
It's a really obvious trap. It's a pitfall.
It is.
But the leaves don't even cover it all the way, and Justin and Fina just walk along, and then they stop and stand on it like.
And we're greeted by a hot-headed young humanoid person named Rapp.
Sorry, named
With, like,
what?
this- Rapp.
Out for a stroll in the woods, just a pleasant little hike, but you didn't know I would step up to the mic. All you short ear tower rats will need all your wits if you're gonna avoid my well-hidden pits. You think your backstory is tragic? Well, you're one to talk. I live in some fruit, and my mom is a rock. Think you could step to me? Who the hell are you? I'm the prince of the forest. I'm Rapp of Tafoo.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
That's my applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh.
Hey, you guys, what are you doing in that pit, eh? Hey, Nikki. So, do you remember in Community where Annie got the role of Karate Kid?
No.
And oh, well, it was a good episode. Anyway, that's what his voice acting is like.
Why'd you do a Sylvester Stallone?
He sort of he does like a this. Hey, Nikki. That's what Rapp's voice actor.
That is true. He does.
He does this like greaser Fonzie thing.
To
This
me,
Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
To me, he sounds like a guy who is just like not an actor and in his bathroom, and he got the script and he's like, okay, I can do this.
Wait, is
Yeah, like they gave the script. They like forced the guy who was sitting on the toilet to read Rapp's lines when they burst into his stall in a public restroom.
Now, wait, was he in his bathroom or bathrobe? Because I both really work.
Probably
I could see
both.
both. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Rapp. Okay, spoiler alert. He joins your party.
No.
So in this game, every time any character delivers the last blow to an enemy and it ends the battle, they get a little line like Justin says, "Oh, big win for us if you beat a boss," or "What a cinch if you don't take any damage." Rapp, his lines are unintelligible. I have no idea what he's saying.
They should have sent reinforcements. That's one of them.
Oh, is that what he says?
Yeah, that's one of them.
And he also
Well,
flaps
that's
his
the one I could
arms
not-
wildly like a chicken.
He does. Yeah, he like wiggles his arms up and down.
He has a little friend.
He has a girlfriend?
No, a little friend.
Oh, he does have a little friend. Yes, a little friend named Nikki.
I guess they pull you out of the pit and they sort of surround you, Rapp and his gang and little Nikki. And they accuse you of being round-ear rats from the tower.
Yeah, so two things. They want to kill you, and there's obviously other humans on the continent.
I suppose it's worth mentioning that they have pointy ears, which is why they're so upset about your round ears.
Right.
I don't know. Are these meant to be the same like race as the other humanoids from the other continent?
Maybe. Do they still have tails? I don't know.
I don't know either. But right when they're about to, he and Justin are gonna throw down. Right as this is about to happen, a big plant monster attacks Nikki, and you have to like join forces to fight it.
Hey, you guys! Nikki's under attack! Come and help me! Hey, y'all! Forget about it!
Well, first he objects, and then they're like, don't be dumb. Your little
Right.
Nikki is under attack. Let us help.
Yeah.
I would rather think of him as a kid Nikki than a little Nikki, because little Nikki is awful, but kid Nikki, well, is also awful, but I have good memories of playing it.
Oh, okay. How about Nikki from the Prince song of the same name?
I don't know that song.
Oh.
How's it go?
I knew a girl named Nikki. I guess you could say she was a sex fiend.
Wow.
I met her in a hotel lobby, masturbating with a magazine.
Whoa, Nikki, in the lobby?
Yeah, apparently.
Get it together.
Holy cow.
She's a mess.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
You know the song Little Red Corvette by Prince?
I am familiar.
I thought he was saying feel it, feel it.
Instead of Little Red Corvette.
I have a very hard time understanding lyrics a lot of the time.
Feel it, feel it.
Feel it. Baby, you're much too fast.
It works. Ish.
Yep. Yep.
What an episode, guys.
You're very high energy, Jim. I love it.
I'm super low energy tonight.
She said, how'd you like to waste some time? And I could not resist when I saw little Nikki grind.
Yikes. Purple rain, purple rain.
It's a story song, which is one of my favorite genres.
Right.
They go to Nikki's home, and she has many devices. Everything that money could buy, according to Prince, and then she makes him sign a contract.
Okay.
And
A bit like 50 Shades of Grey.
yeah, something like that. And he says, I can't tell you what she did to me, but my body will never be the same. And
Whoa.
when he wakes up, she's not there.
Do you like that song, the story song, When the Lights Went Down in Georgia?
I love it.
That's a
Your
great song.
karaoke go-to.
Is it?
That's what you told me.
No, I sang it once in Rock Band for the first
Oh.
time. I didn't know the lyrics, but anyway. So let's go back to Nikki. So we saved Nikki from this evil plant.
We do.
What would this plant look? I can't remember what the plant looked like.
Let's see. It looks like a big old tree, like a tree with a gross mouth and a big gross tongue hanging out of it.
Oh, like Poltergeist.
Yes.
Right. I had a tree outside my window, when I had a room with my sister when I was little, and we saw Poltergeist. My parents were not very good at figuring out what movies we should and should not watch, and that scared me so bad for many years.
I love that movie.
Would you?
I've seen that movie 1,000 times.
So-
I'll watch it 1,000 more times.
Jalen is what, 8 now?
She'll be 8 in like a month and a half.
Now, would you let her have watched that 4 years ago? Is my question.
No.
Okay.
I don't even know if I'd let her watch it now.
Right. It's pretty scary.
When we were camping over the weekend, like, you know, it was raining and stuff, and I told Jalen, I was like, you know, it would probably be fun if, like, you and your friends went and sat in your tent because it was getting dark, and you guys could tell ghost stories, and you could play with the flashlight. And she looked at me like, who, like, do you know me? Like, that sounds like a terrible idea.
So once again, we killed this tree. I think I still had the axe equipped on Justin, so I was doing some good damage on it. And yeah, that tree gets murdified.
Yeah, it's not a super hard boss, but it does have one attack that will do some damage.
Doesn't it poison? I think it has like a poisoning attack.
It does. It has one called like Flower Beam,
Right.
where it just does a bunch of damage.
So you kill it, and Rapp rescues Nikki.
And then he takes you to Cafu. And just like every other village we've been introduced to, the first thing we do is go find the Elder.
How long did it take you to find the Elder this time?
Not, you know, I stumbled into his place by mistake.
Took me a little while.
The houses in this village, they're like multi-level.
Yeah.
I think you have to go to the top floor of the Elder's house first, and then make your way to the first floor.
I think that I know that is what I did, but I don't know if it's
I
mandatory.
think you have to do that.
So Vanessa, how did I guess you talked to the townspeople to find out how these houses came to be?
Yes, they grow their houses out of large fruits. And
they're still alive because
they're
you have to
still
water
alive.
them.
And they're attached to stems. Some of them have descended to the ground, but some of them are still kind of hanging from the stem. And you have to climb up to a platform to get in. Or one of the houses, if you walk underneath it, a trap door opens and a little rope falls down for you to climb up. I think their houses are nice, but they're probably pretty moist.
I would imagine so.
Like squishy. And there's no indication as to whether or not they eat their homes, but I would imagine they might because they need to hollow them out.
Right.
And I don't see big piles of fruit pulp lying around anywhere. But I think it would be dangerous if you could eat your house because you might go too far and eat all the way through the wall.
And there's no...
Can you imagine how sticky it is in those houses? Gross.
Especially with no toilets
Yeah.
visible.
There seem to be no toilets in this whole world.
That's true.
That's true. Let's see. So the Elder tells you that you can stay at the inn. They don't like outsiders either.
No. Does any village here? Like, all the villages seem to be, except for Gumbo, which had its own issues with outsiders. Most villages we've been to, basically since Luke, seem to be really crappy about outsiders.
That seems like a really lazy thing.
Maybe they just don't believe in tourism, or don't see the benefits of having tourists.
That's true. I mean, nobody likes outsiders, but they all know how to get from village to village, and they're all familiar with the people in the villages around them.
Well, they keep going on about these Lainians and how stupid and big and strong and muscular they are.
They sound great.
Yeah. They sound way better than these dumb Cafus.
I know. What jerks. They put traps in the forest.
And someone in the village tells me about also the Elder does too. They talk about Old Cafu, which was a village nearby that got turned to stone. And at first it didn't make much sense because Nikki was like, "Hey, have you polished my old man?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, you saw my sister, right?" He's like, "Yeah, I rubbed her up real good."
Oh, what?
What? What's happening?
Oh, but the guy
the
seems
reveal of
grateful.
his parents is one of the better visual gags, and
I have
any
so
of the
many
games that we
questions.
played.
I have so many questions about
Me
those parents. I think
too.
we need to spend a few minutes. Let's get there, but we need to spend a few minutes on those parents.
Mhm.
So Rapp says since you're staying in the village and you're his friend, that you can go with him to the petrified forest the next day.
Mm-hmm. Is this on our way?
that-
So basically, he was going to take us there on our way to Zilpidon. I think that was going to be our next stop, but we get a little distracted here.
Oh, is that true?
I think so, because we weren't originally, or were we going to go to the Tower of Doom after we heard about it?
Well, so you'd commit to the Tower of Doom after you get to Old Cafu.
Yeah, so I think we were going, because Guido said to go to Zilpidon, so I think we were going that way. And then, so this is sort of a sidetrack. Like Matthew was saying before, or no, as you, in the last episode, you were saying that this game seems to be about going somewhere and then on the way having to go do some other stuff.
Yeah. I guess that is exactly what this is too.
Yeah.
Because he is supposed to take you somewhere else, but he's like, "Hey, I need to go to the petrified forest. You can come with me." And this Tower of Doom sucks, but you don't like do anything about it yet. And you go to Old Cafu the next day, and it turns out that everything did turn to stone, even a lot of the people in the town, including Rapp's parents.
Well, he shows you these two eggs.
Yeah.
These two stone eggs. And he's like, "It's my old man."
And his
And
mother.
But all the other people in the town just look like normal statues. Like from the Fantasy Star. But these two are big eggs. Please explain, Vanessa.
I will explain exactly what is going on.
Okay.
Rapp explains that he comes every day to polish the stones, and even indicates that by the time he's done polishing, there'll be nothing left. So what is going on is his parents are frozen in stone form, and he took it on himself to start rubbing them every day. And every day he rubs a little bit of them off and is shaping them into an egg. Now, presumably, because this is a nice JRPG, eventually the stone curse will be broken, and everyone will come back to life.
Except for those two.
Well, I imagine they'll come back to life very briefly. And
let out a horrifying scream.
yes.
Yeah. they're gonna be back long enough
Just
to
sort
like,
of a bloody
to
gurgle.
beg the person next to them to kill them.
They'll fall to the ground, and just imagine if someone came along and rubbed enough of you off so that you formed a perfect sphere, or egg shape.
Did you guys ever see like some research company came out with like a model of what a human would need to look like to be perfectly resistant to a car crash?
Yes.
They would look similar to that.
Okay. Yeah, this is sort of some Cronenberg style body horror going on.
Yes.
The one lesson you can really take from this is if someone you love is turned to stone, do not polish them. Do not try to move them or clean them. Just let them be, because the odds of you doing damage are much higher if you interact with them.
Yes, stone is breakable, chippable, and anything that comes off is staying off once that curse is broken.
Yeah.
Rapp is a monster.
Yes.
Yeah, why would you do this? This is awful. You've he's totally, I guess, given up hope that his parents could ever be cured.
Well, I
Maybe
would
he's just
imagine
really
at this point
stupid.
he hopes that they won't be, because then he'll have to live with the consequences of what he's done. But he can't even look at their stone faces anymore to remember them. He has rubbed it away. He rubbed their face off, John.
Oh. Like, that's not even affectionate. That's just creepy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rub your
They're gonna
face
come back
off.
and they're gonna look like Tetsuo.
You're gonna
Just
be
random
so
teeth
shiny.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Tetsuo!
Kaneda!
So now Justin's like, hey, you know what? Actually, we will help you. Let's do this together.
And he's like, let's not wait until you're grown to go defeat this tower. Let's do it right now.
Yeah. Because Rapp seems about the same age as Justin and Fina, I would guess.
Uh-huh.
Well, try that again without yawning.
No. Uh-huh.
I don't blame you for yawning. Rap is boring.
There's plenty of good rap and bad rap.
Do you guys want me to do my rap again?
No, we'll just cut it in right
Okay.
here.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt.
So we actually go straight from here to the Tower of Doom.
Tower of Doom.
Tower of Doom.
boom, it's
Well, actually,
But
we still have.
it's really just, it's just a military building.
Don't you still have some more? Oh no, you still have a couple of more screens of petrified forest first, and then you get there.
Yeah, that's true. And this is where the alligators are. They can give you lots of experience and gold.
Mm-hmm. And you get to a military base, and gasp! It's the Garlisle forces again. Who knew?
Oh, weird.
I called it.
When did
But
you?
it is weird because there are no soldiers outside.
No, and their tanks look kind of broken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their tanks look all jacked up. And you go to open a warehouse door, and a big, muscly Lainian woman flies out and punches Rapp square in the face.
She's fantastic.
She's great.
She's awesome.
She's
Except maybe the choice of giving her like a southern accent for some reason.
It's very odd.
I don't understand that. She's basically Ayla from Chrono Trigger.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of talking like a cave woman, talking like
She talks like a southerner.
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
southern lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
like-
she's very into bondage. You can tell by the way she's dressed herself. She has a big,
the chain.
thick prison collar around her neck, and then
Yeah.
she has pierced her ears and hung thick gauge chain link from it, or not chain link, but just like a chain.
She has a body type that is not usual for JRPG protagonists. She is very tall, very strong,
Mhm.
very broad,
Mm-hmm.
not inherently delicate and sexualized like a lot of the like even Ayla, I think, is still
Yeah.
more sexualized than
Oh, super sexualized.
what's this lady's name again? Milda?
Milda.
And the first thing she does is beat the crap out of Rapp.
Mm-hmm.
And
And you have to fight her.
Yeah, but first you get to watch her just like pin Rapp against a wall and then just punch him about 30 times.
Yeah. And he deserved it.
Mm-hmm. He was goading her on because he is a Kafuian and they don't like Lainians. For some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, Milda, if you look at Milda's outfit, her rendering, like what was in the manual, she's pretty sexualized. You can almost see her vagina.
Yeah. She does wear sort of a hot pink jumpsuit.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. It looked functional in the sprite, but I haven't seen the artwork dedicated
You
to
should. I'm gonna post it. Hold on. I'm gonna post it in the chat here real quick.
Oh, no.
That is just barely covering her
Oh,
vagina.
you aren't kidding.
Yeah.
Like, you can see some labia majora there. Like,
Yeah.
side majora. Is that a thing?
There's some. You can see most of her pubic
Mhm.
region.
Oh, wow. Oh, I didn't notice. I thought that was fabric. That's not fabric.
No.
To the side.
No, it's not.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
And according to this fan art, her breasts are pushed up very, very high. Like, uncomfortably high for the size.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a bare abdomen and bare legs.
There is some interesting art of Milda on the internet.
And this is
boy.
from the manual, you say?
I think that is from the
That's
manual.
not right. This was sold to children. Oh no.
Yikes.
Yeah.
But I do like that she isn't drawn in the usual comic book girl pose. She has a powerful stance.
She does. But the moment she moves...
You do not see her butt for some reason,
Yeah.
even though she's facing forward like a comic book lady.
Yeah. The moment she moves, that bit of fabric is going right up there. I'm sorry. There's just no way it won't. Especially when she's doing kicks.
Just,
Yikes. What was that sound effect? What were you doing there?
That was like it being sucked in, like, like a
What
vacuum.
John doesn't
The
know a lot
fabric.
about women.
Yeah, my people with vagina experiences is fairly low. But
So we also have to fight Milda.
Mm-hmm.
So Rapp is knocked out, so it's just a Justin and Fina thing. But we beat her pretty easily, and then she's like, "Oh, hey, I'm here to destroy the Tower of Doom 2. I don't like it." And begrudgingly, Rapp lets her be a party member.
And she sort of
And-
takes a liking to Rapp after that, pretty strongly.
She does. It seems like her village of Laine has nothing against the Cafunians, but they seem to really dislike people from Laine.
Yeah.
now they don't establish. At least I missed a plot point here of. Did they petrify some Lanians as well? Why is she coming up here to kick ass?
I don't understand that either, because Laine is very far away from the Tower of Doom.
And they say very specifically in a little bit, they only attacked one village so far.
Mm-hmm.
The Tower of Doom.
Yeah, and that
people.
would be the old Cafu.
Right.
I don't understand it.
So she just doesn't like the tower? Maybe she's against construction in pristine forests?
Yeah. She is out to get it for whatever reason.
Well, I can definitely see being against colonizing, which is what this is. So, yeah. Oh, sleepy lady.
I'm sorry.
Gotta keep the energy up.
Energy up. Blah, 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 blah.
We go to start. The Tower of Doom is like the worst dungeon.
Do you think?
It is. I mean, I say the worst. It's just really annoying.
I didn't mind it
There's-
at all.
There are a lot of soldiers.
Section where, because there's one section where there's a bunch of doors you can open by pushing buttons, which we'll get to in the minigame corner, I guess. But I timed it. I went through 4 doors and cleared out 4 rooms, and it took me half an hour to clear out 4 rooms. Half an hour. I was timing each fight. Each fight took at least minimum a minute, and there were 4 fights per room.
But you don't have
It's a
to clear
lot.
out those rooms.
Well, I mean, I like murdering people, Vanessa.
Of course. Who doesn't?
Oh, by the way, there are switches in some of these rooms that I switched, and I have no idea what they
Yeah,
did.
me too.
Oh, I can tell you some of the stuff.
What do they do?
Well, the ones that you break,
Mm-hmm.
the switches you break open up a door to the north on floor 2. So if you don't break those switches, then you have to go back and do it, or else you can't keep going forward. Yeah.
Oh.
One of them is at the end of a room that you have to walk through, and there's part of the floor that's red and flashing, and I assumed I was not meant to step on it, so I did not.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mhm.
after I broke the switch, I walked out the door, and I kind of liked it, actually. There's just like 6 guards right there, and you walk right into them as soon as you go through the door. I thought it was pretty funny.
What I wish this game did was, if there is a bunch of enemies in close proximity like this, and they sometimes will do it, sometimes, but normally they don't, combine fights, just so that I don't have to go through loading screens for each one of those 6 people.
Mhm.
Just have one fight versus like 18 people. Maybe it's an engine limitation or something.
Or just
I
like
don't know,
a
but some-
wave fight or something like that. Like you
Yeah,
kill three
yeah.
more show up.
Because, well, there's definitely been fights where you're fighting like 6 enemies. I've seen those before.
Mhm.
So why they could at least do 2 at once. But I like your wave idea. Excellent work.
Thank you. I'm a
Promotions for
programmer now.
everybody.
So we tromp through this
Bonk, bonk.
tower. Blonk, 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 blonk.
Ba-dum-bum.
There's just have to keep going up through the center. It's a little tricky. Push some buttons. We'll talk about that at the end. You murder a lot of guards.
I don't think they're murdered. They're just lying down.
That's true. They do not flash out of existence like monsters do.
Mhm.
So you just beat up a lot of guards. But they do, well, yeah, some bad stuff does happen to them though.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they get it.
Yeah, they get it. Because, wait a minute, people. We're going to have a Jenova moment.
We are. Can we talk about it?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. So we make our way through the Tower of Doom and into like this big central room where it looks like there's this big like plant in the middle of it. And they're commenting on, and they refer to it as Gaia, and they're commenting on how its growth has stalled.
Mm-hmm.
And about how that if General Ball asks, they can just lie about it.
And so this is the 3 ladies again, right?
Yeah, this is, what is it? Saki, Nana, and
Mia?
Mio?
Mio? Yeah, Mio.
Mhm.
Our favorite, the generals from the locker room, what we've seen a few times now.
Yes. And they're conspiring on how to best lie about this thing not growing anymore. And right as they do that, General Bao shows up on his little hollow deck.
He looks so evil. I love how evil his character design is.
And they give him an evil laugh too, which is great. But he's like, "Oh, you guys are liars. This thing isn't growing. We need to figure it out." And then he does an evil laugh, and then he leaves. And right as this happens, Justin and Rapp decide to trash Gaia.
Well, he does.
We're gonna trash it.
The general does say, like, hey, we only, all we've done so far is turn one stupid village to stone, and that pisses Rapp a little bit off.
Oh, that's right.
That's why he gets so mad.
And so they go to trash it, and Gaia, like, does he react to the spirit stone? Is that what happens?
Seems to be.
Well, he does break, like, doesn't it? Oh, okay, no, here's what happens. So, Rapp goes down and starts wailing on the console. The little protective glass around the plant explodes. Everybody's being... when that happens, the 3 girls are like, yeah, we're getting out of here, because they know what's going to happen.
They leave.
All the other bad guys turn to stone immediately. But there is a field protecting Rapp and Fina and Justin from the Spirit Stone. So that's why they do not get turned to stone.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And then Gaia, like, turns... It just, like, secretes a robot.
Why does the plant have a robot inside? Jim?
Yeah, it turns sort of viney and giant, and then opens up like a mouth that's perfectly round, and a robot comes out.
A real dumb looking robot.
Yeah.
A real dumb looking robot. It does look like Lavos. John, you were right. It does look like Lavos. It's called the Gaia Battler. And you fight it.
This was a pretty easy fight, again, for me.
I love how the Gaia Battler has chicken feet. It's got a robot upper body with chicken feet.
So I couldn't figure, you know how you can, it has the main body and then 2 arms. Do you get more money if you kill the arms first before killing the body? Is that the reason for doing that?
You might.
Well, no, because when you defeat one, like they all like burst.
No, you can, if you defeat the arms first, you can do that without killing it.
I
And
did
it
the
does
arms.
drop
But
a
you
money
still
bag.
get the money from all of them, right?
I don't know.
That's why I'm curious. I don't know. That's my question. Like,
Oh, I don't know.
is the point to kill off the appendages first so you get like bonus cash? Or not? Because if not, then I would just waste my time. I could just kill the body because they all have the same hit points.
Nobody knows. But I killed the
Okay.
arms first, and they
Me
turned
too.
into gold coins.
Yes, and I did get a lot of gold after that fight.
I found the robot fight a little bit difficult. It took a long time.
Oh.
Hmm.
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 What about you, Jim? Pro
What was the
gamer.
question?
Did you find the fight against Robo Plant difficult?
No.
Okay.
It does. It doesn't even have like I've yet to encounter an enemy that's got like a move that is gonna like at least wipe out one person. You know what I mean?
It does like 50 damage per arm, basically. So if you could, it could get out of control pretty fast if you aren't like delaying and healing every turn.
Yeah. So we beat the Gaia battler, and he just leaves behind a little Gaia sapling,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and we take it and we run out of there.
And all the other floors are now full of stoned employees
What?
Yeah.
for 420, dude.
Oh. Okay.
Now everyone inside's been turned to stone.
Why don't they polish them?
Because you're just destroying their bodies if you do that.
Well,
That's
yeah, but
terrible.
now when they get unstonified, they're just going to come after you. But if you give them a good polish, they'll turn into pussy flesh sacks.
Just smash them.
Well, Justin's not a murderer, remember?
Right. But Rapp is. He killed his parents.
He was gonna kill Justin.
That's
too.
right, he was.
That's true. Okay. Good point. So he's like, yeah, I'll bring back this sapling to the chief. You run the heck out of there and go back to his village. And the chief's like, hey, that's a stinking Lainian. We don't allow you here.
Mm-hmm.
And Rapp is like, man, what an old turd you are.
Yeah, he's real negative about his old man.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm very happy that you took down that tower and everything. So you can stay, and I'll even let you eat food at the inn.
Amazing.
That's how nice I am.
Wow.
Yeah, that did make me laugh when you go to stay in that inn the first time. You're like, well, I guess you can sleep here, but you're not getting any food.
So now you can stay at the inn, and you do get food, and you have a whole dinner scene with Milda and with Rapp and with Fina. And Fina's like all out of sorts because she's like, did my sister have something to do with this? This seems bad. I don't
Mhm.
like my sister having like weird death powers or like making evil monsters,
Mhm.
Jenovas. She's Jenova up the new continent.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Milda is like, "Hey, you should come drop by my village after because we know about a Lent and we could probably get you there."
Yeah, she said did you say her husband is a wise man?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And he's really smart and knows all about Alent and the Icarians, and that they should go
Mhm.
speak to him.
She also
Mhm.
says that she's 19 years old.
Oh wow, when did she get married?
She's 19? Is
That's
that
what
it?
she says.
Wow, ancient in JRPG terms.
Mhm.
I'm still not even over Orin being 35 in Final Fantasy X.
The old man.
That sucks. Yeah, so then you go to sleep. Well, first you go out to go find Fina so she can talk about her problems with her sister's behavior, and suddenly the village gets attacked.
No.
They are there to, I guess, steal the sapling back? Is that it, Jim?
Mm-hmm. This is basically exactly what happened in that other village.
Yeah.
Was it Dite?
Yeah. Luke.
No, it wasn't Dite.
It was Luke.
Luke, that's right.
Yeah.
But the Garlio forces show up, and they want the sapling, and then Leen shows up.
Mm-hmm. And
so the sapling like turns into another Gaia battler,
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and before you can fight it, Leen wings pop out of her body and she disappears with the Gaia thing because she's an Icarian, I guess.
What?
What?
Wait,
Yeah.
pardon? Huh?
What?
Huh?
What?
How is she? But Fina is an Icarian.
I don't get it.
She can't
And she
be
says-
an Icarian.
She says, like, the Leen you knew once is dead. I am something new, and we aren't sisters anymore. And she's real mean to her sister.
What?
But she does have some pretty sweet wings, so that's cool.
I think she got Captain America'd.
Like, Buckied?
No, like Captain America'd. Like they put her in a pod and injected her with super serum, and then she became a Carrion because they gave her a Carrion DNA or something like that.
I like this theory.
That's my
Jim-
theory.
Okay, wait. No, Jim can't answer, so let me see my theory. She got Buckied, so they captured her and then brainwashed her and then also gave her the Captain America serum.
Oh,
So there you go.
I like it.
And yeah, she disappears with the sapling, and we basically brought ruin upon this village once again.
That's terrible.
We do seem to leave a trail of destruction.
We sure do.
Yeah, I like how this village really deals with it in an efficient way, which is just to immediately exile you.
Well, they're like, well, we broke our laws letting you guys stay here, so get the hell out of here.
Yeah, they don't let you back in the village at all.
Ever?
I don't think you can go back.
Oh, wow. It's like that village from Secret of Mana.
Right.
They still let you go to the inn and the weapons store, so
Yeah, you can go stay and go shopping, but you can't go into the village
yeah,
proper.
they want your money, but not your company.
Ouch.
Right.
Ouch. That's harsh.
Mhm.
So, I'm unclear. Is it a spoiler to ask, did we unpetrify old Cafu?
I don't think we have at this point.
We have not yet, because technically Gaia is still alive.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll find out more about that next time.
Yeah, we'll go to the end of Laine Village.
Okay.
More like Lame Village.
Oh, nice.
Oh. I'm expecting lots of Mogays and lots of Lainians.
Uh-huh.
I think it will be pretty fun, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna have lots of talking like these.
It's a me, Lanian.
All right, so for next episode, we will be playing through Laine Village.
Ooh, okay.
It'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
I don't think we had any bullshit minigames this time,
We
did we?
did. John
Pressing the
has said the
buttons.
whole time he did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there's two fields of buttons, each one having two buttons, and each combination of buttons opens a door. So like if they're both pressed, one door is open. If they're both not pressed, one door opens, and if A is pressed, one door opens, and if B is pressed, one door opens, except that they all only control 3 doors. So one of the button press combos opens the same door. Just kind of like, just add one more door, guys. Come on, what are you doing? Anyway, so that is the mini game. It just gives you access to more treasure, none of which was super good. Just really fighting more of those guys and beating them up. But that was the bullshit minigame. I was really, because on the ship you had that very detailed, it was a real minigame, the one on the ship, right? The cleaning.
Mhm.
Like it had its own UI, it had its own interface. I was expecting a lot more of that in this game. And I'm kind of bummed that there hasn't been much of it.
Yeah.
Oh well. That's it for John's Bullshit Minigame Corner.
Good
Mhm.
corner.
Thank you.
You guys want to talk about what we're squarely against?
Ooh.
Mm,
Yes. I think I didn't
what are
go
you squarely against?
I'm pretty sure I didn't go last week.
Oh, well, why don't you go first this week, buddy?
Sure. Okay. Let's see. I am roundly for the music in this game. It's really good.
All right.
That's it. I think the music is quite good.
Cool.
And especially the new battle theme is awesome.
Vanessa, what about you?
I'm squarely against the fashion choices that have been made for some of these characters. And by some, I mean one in particular. I was already a little put off by the chain imagery. I don't know if at first I assumed she was a slave of some sort and would lose those accessories, but she's not. She has chosen to wear them herself, and I don't want to kink shame her. But, you know, sometimes when you're in a public place, you can't wear your fetish gear all the time, and she has not learned that lesson.
Says who?
Says me.
What?
I'm Vanessa.
Oh.
And Jim, what are you squarely against?
I'm squarely against Rapp's voice acting.
Hey, Jimmy, what's your problem with his voice acting? Oh, wait, sorry, it's not bored
even
enough.
when I was a kid and I played this game, whenever Rapp did his post battle one liner, I was like, I cannot understand what the fuck he's saying.
It has to be more bored, right? It's more like, hey, Jimmy, what do you think you're doing, buddy? Hey, yeah.
It sounds like he's leaning away from the microphone when he records some of that, because one of his post battle lines is where he goes, "Not bad, eh?" But it's like, not bad, eh?
You better
You can't-
for some reinforcement.
Yeah. Oh, it's the worst. So yeah, I'm squarely against Rapp's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go, we do have a couple emails tonight, huh?
Yeah. We'll get through them fast. One's only an 8-part email.
Yeah, why don't you read the first one, John?
My name is Richard, and I recently found your podcast. While I thought going in order would suffice, I found myself gravitated to your seasons of the games I grew up on. I'm slightly older than Matthew, I believe. Great way to kill time on long flights or doing yard work in Central Florida, Tampa area. Wow! He's like Matt's buddy here.
Yeah.
I know. Is this actually Matt?
Maybe. Absolutely hilarious, if I must say, and have many comments. Matthew, your sedate slowly devolves into Roger Rabbit.
Sick burn.
I'm trying to remember Matthew Zidane.
It does sound like Roger Rabbit.
And when I think of what Roger Rabbit sounds like, my mind just goes to Jar Jar Binks.
Please, Dagger.
Oh, that's right. He does do that. Jim, your Macho Man is terrible. Do some research.
Sick burn.
No argument here.
Wow. John seems like the nicest guy. I'm sure he isn't for all the right reasons.
John is the
Damn
nicest
right.
guy.
No, I am terrible.
Hmm.
Vanessa, how the hell do you put up with this nonsense? I hope it's booze. It has to be booze.
I'm sober.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Right
Remember
now?
last episode?
Yeah, well, no.
Oh, no, 2 episodes ago. It was 2. Jim was the Dos Equis last time.
I was pretty drunk last episode.
The one before that was Vanessa's Easter celebration.
Yeah.
Happy Easter.
You were also pretty drunk was it during the Academy Awards?
Yes, I was.
Richard wants more Nietzsche and Sexy Grandma. Well, we'll have to. I definitely want to break out my Nietzsche again when things get very bleak. But it has to be a bleak game. I think he works best.
It can't
when
be
things are-
forced.
Yeah, and there's no old ladies in this game.
Not yet.
I haven't met any. Never realized how much the Secret of Mana song could sound like some insane prog rock jazz thing. That bass line, though. Was that the the forest or spring forest or whatever that track was we used for.
Oh, the remix version?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Okay. I've never played KOTOR, and thanks to your podcast, I never will.
Oh, no.
Come on. KOTOR's fun.
Yeah,
It's
we liked
awful.
it.
KOTOR's fine.
Yeah.
Jim ended up in his underwear. It was the best thing ever.
I did. I overloaded the game.
It's like he's wearing evil robes, but he made the good choice. We have to take his clothes off.
God damn it, play Final Fantasy VI.
Oh. Well, if Richard
We
says
We did
so.
promise we would play that this year.
Yeah, we are planning later this year to play that. There's still plenty of year left. We're only in month 4.
2/3 of the year is left.
Yeah, so it's gonna come soon-ish. And that's it. That's it. Thank you for the letter, Richard. I appreciate it.
Well, he does say all this to say, I love it. Keep up the good work.
I don't need to read the parts telling us how great we are, Jim.
I mean, it doesn't hurt.
It's a little bit masturbatory.
Gross.
That's the second time you've said that word
I'm
tonight.
sorry.
It's true.
It's a normal human function. Get over it.
I'm not berating you. I'm just saying.
All right, that's it for our emails, and I don't think we have any level ups this week, so let's move on.
Yeah, that's it. Once again, we are playing to the end of Laine Village for next episode. Before we go, just a quick reminder to come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast, for smart, cool, very attractive people. You can send us an email. We are squarerootspodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet at us. We are at Square Roots Pod. Our opening theme is Charles Ritz's cover of the Sandy Beach of Gumbo, featuring Alejandro Espinosa and Noah Benson. Our ending theme is a fantastic vocal cover by Cyril the Wolf. Check out Cyril the Wolf and Charles Ritz on YouTube. Links in the show notes.
Yeah. Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you screenshot your review and post on the Facebook group or Twitter or email, although I have a hard time taking email, so I prefer if you do the other two, I'll tell you how you leveled up.
All right, everybody, good episode.
Yeah.
Short chunker this time.
Yeah, that's okay.
Be an easy edit for me.
I have
Yay.
to read the donor list.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought, did we delete it or is it still
And
there?
I moved it down for ease for me.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
here I go.
go ahead.
I'll search across the land, look far and wide, release from my hand the power that's inside. Joe Rogers, Tyler Petty, Lyndon Central, Brody Toy, Justin Ham, Bree Girth, Meredith Anderson, Stompbot 9000, Devin Sloan Stan, Stu Skeel, Xavier Krieger, Brian Pitt, Ward Childress, Justin Benoit, Patrick Coover, David Shook, G. Bailey, Matt Jorgensen, Vanessa's mom, Andrew Whalen, Raymond Crum, Robert Tyson, Ross Hartley Tom. Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon.
Amazing. I love your
Oh, the
Patreon.
Patreon.
rap.
That works really well.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, that's it.
So remember, play until the end of whatever it is you have to do in Laine Village.
Mm-hmm.
Laine Village. Laine
All right, everybody, that's it for
Village.
this week's episode of Square Roots. I am Jim Banks.
I am not Jim Banks. I am John Brandon.
Out for a stroll in the woods, just a pleasant little hike, but you didn't know I would step up to the mic. All you short-eared tower rats will need all your wits if you're gonna avoid my well-hidden pits. You think your backstory is tragic? Well, you're one to talk. I live in some fruit, and my mom is a rock. Think you can step to me? Who the hell are you? I'm the prince of the forest. I'm the rapper Cafu.
I'm Vanessa.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, Nikki. Bye.